live kept wanting to change, and now my it looks a little crooked, but we're just not gonna worry about it. Hey, 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 everybody! Hello, hello, hello. I'm Ronique West, so we're gonna talk about my health journey. I just feel like it's something that I haven't talked about in a very long time, and now that I'm closer to 50 and perimenopause is visiting your girl, I feel like it's something to revisit at this point. So why not, right? Hold on for a sec. So like, I'll be right back. So okay, so Perry's visiting your girl, and I've been on a very long health journey. A lot of people may not know that. But we're gonna talk about it because I feel like this may help somebody. And I haven't discussed it in a long time because for the most part, I have really figured out how to stay around 14, 16 um size, and I for the most part watch my weight. I'm very active and so forth. But a lot of people, if unless you've known me a long time, you wouldn't know my health journey. And I'm an introvert and I'm a private person, so I don't really talk about things. But I love helping people, so I'll talk to people when they need help. But I feel like this is a conversation that's so needed because a lot of people right now, what I'm noticing is they're giving up their internal health for aesthetics. I won't get a lot into that right now, but just really try to work on being make sure your internal health is good first and then go for aesthetics. So just be careful. Just be careful. You don't want to develop a major autoimmune thing or a major disease or even really lose muscle mass. As we age, anybody over 40, especially women, we're going to lose muscles naturally. So you want to be careful about putting anything in your body that's causing you to lose muscles, even though it may be aesthetically pleasing. If you're losing muscle, that is a bad thing, guys. Unless you are just heavily weight training, and most people are not in America, not in this fast-paced society, and a lot of people can't even figure out the time to really work out and take care of themselves. So be honest with yourself because aesthetics and health are two different things, and unfortunately we live in a society in a media world that is making it seem like it's the same thing, and it's just absolutely not. Okay, so let's get started in this conversation. This is me in elementary. I probably was in third grade because honestly I was the tallest person in my school, one of the tallest people in my schools until like sixth grade. So I've been 5'5" since third grade. I'm 5'5" still now. So I didn't have anything to grow but literally out as life happened to me. Okay. So we're gonna talk about me, um, and my journey. I'm trying to find a picture here. We'll start out where I was at my heaviest. Now, I don't know when I got to this weight, to be honest. It wasn't like right after I had my daughter. It probably wasn't until she was about 5. I found a picture of me and her, and I think I put age 25 on it. So I think I was about 25 when I was around my heaviest weight. Okay, this is me at my heaviest weight as an adult. Um, I got several pictures, just in case you don't believe it's me. That's definitely me. I'm still a cutie. See my face? This is definitely me. That's one of my favorite hats. I still have that hat to this day. Still have that hat to this day. That was my first trip to the Bahamas, which was in my 20s. That is me. I think it's my first cruise, my first trip to the Bahamas. So that just shows you where I was at. So I was about a probably 300, 310, 320 around that time. 22, 24, 26 was the sizes I was wearing. Definitely 3X, 2X girly. I was in Lane Bryant. I was in the plus size section of the stores. Was finally Ashley Stores that came out. I don't even shop at Ashley Stores anymore, but that's where I was at. Okay, I was definitely always been I'm still considered plus size right now, but I can finally shop in regular stores. I can remember the first time I was able to go to a regular store and get regular sizes. I was like, oh my god. So that was me. I'm from Indiana, but it's been a journey. So we're gonna go through the journey. So when I first started to lose weight, I'm gonna tell you what I did, how I got to losing the weight. So this is me and my husband. Rest in peace, Dino. Reason why I bring him up because he was the first person that helped me to lose weight naturally, to be honest. This is me when I was married after I had lost weight, still in Indiana. This is me too. You can tell I am a lot smaller than what I was. That was my natural weight loss, okay? This is all natural. See, this is 2008. I was definitely in Indianapolis. I was sitting on Santa Claus' lap. You can see I was definitely a smaller version. So I think I lost at first maybe 70 pounds naturally. And I'm gonna tell you what I did. And these things I never added back into my diet, but this is what I did when I first lost weight. So at my heaviest, I was definitely drinking sodas every day. I would eat full plates of food. I mean, like pork chops, spaghetti. I wasn't a pasta person, but breads. You know, I'm trying to think what my favorite was. A lot of steaks. I always liked veggies. But I ate a lot of steaks. I ate a lot of I was a meat person. I've always been more of a food person. I never was a sweets person. I never liked cake or pies. I don't like they don't taste well to me. There's something about it, never that, but I liked food. So I could eat easily probably like 3 or 4 plates of food, snacking. I'm talking about full plates of food, snacking and everything easily, especially when I was heaviest. Now, I've always been active, so me not going to the gym or me not being active has never been a thing for me. I've always been a very active person. Even at my heaviest, I always like to work out. I always worked out for my mental health and to balance my energy. I feel like I have a lot of energy as a person, so to stay balanced for me, I have to do things that burns energy is what I've learned. So for me, the gym is one of them. I like to read, study, work out, whatever it may be, other things too to burn energy. But I do a lot to burn energy so that I'm level. So that is one thing. The other thing I will say that I did was at that time I switched from I gave up pork and red meat. I actually did. My husband, he was more practicing at that time, I think the Muslim faith a little bit. And so he the one really convinced me to do that, and I never went back to eating pork. Okay. Also, I did no whites, so I gave up. That's when I gave up sugars, breads, pastas at the time. I also gave up. I'm trying to think. Pretty much no whites, and I really control my portion size. So this is the first time I really start controlling my portion size. So for me, my favorite food, which I don't eat no more, I don't like chicken breast at all, but was chicken breast and green beans. That was my favorite prep. They call it meal prepping now. Meal prep meal was that in that was over 20 years ago. So I'm 46 now. So that was 20, almost like exactly 21 years ago. Okay. So that was my meal. So then I got down naturally to that. What happened? I moved to Georgia, okay? So I'm in a new state, uh new food environment, okay? Cuz I'm from Indiana. I also, started to adjust to my new life. I had no family here, finished raising my daughter, pretty much trying to get her through middle school, high school, getting her into college, etc. So those first 2 years of me being in Georgia, what I do? I picked up weight, okay? I'm going to insert pictures in the end of here. I'm gonna work through editing and see if I can insert some pictures so you can see those pictures, because that was more when we were more into technology. So those pictures are like more on my phones and stuff. And so I'll insert here that time frame. I moved in Georgia. It might have been, I can't remember when I moved to Georgia. About 2012, because I got a picture. I put 2012 on there. You can tell I had picked up weight from when I first moved to Georgia to where, like the first 3 years, new environment, new food. I'm eating. Your girl's eating, okay? She is in there. So now I'm older. I'm trying to get the weight back off, etc. So forth. I decided to actually do surgery at that time. So I've already lost weight once naturally, and I was successfully kept it off. etc. for a long time. And then I moved to Georgia. Huge life shift. My husband, is no longer with us. Like it was just a lot that happened. Your girl gained weight. Life was lifing. We all go through stuff. And so I was like, I want the weight back off of me. I want to focus back on my health. I don't want to see 310, 320, 22, 24, 26 again. I have worked so hard to not be there. So I did not want to see it again. So I went with a sleeve option at that time. Do I feel like it was worth it? Not really. And the reason why I'm gonna say this is because I did it by myself the first time. I probably could have just did it again by myself the second time. I will say it helped me to drop like a lot of weight but I wasn't eating. So of course that weight was gonna come back. That's all I'm gonna say. Like I did, like when you first had surgery, of course you can only put so much in your food, in your mouth or whatever. Not your mouth, but your stomach can only hold so much, and you're not eating. You're I It destroyed my metabolism. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like it did. I feel like that's why I'm having a difficult time with the additional weight I want to lose now. So if I had to do it again, I would not do it again. Not knocking anybody with surgery or so forth, this, that, and other, because I think you do what you need to do, get your health in check, be healthy. Not knocking it all, but for me, because I did it by myself the first time, I could have just did it by myself the second time. And I honestly feel like it caused some extra stuff that I honestly probably wouldn't be dealing with if I didn't do it. But it did help me to get to probably aesthetically pleasing to most people. And but I just wasn't healthy. I don't think somebody pulled up. I wasn't healthy. So because I wasn't eating, you gotta have food, you need nutrients in your body, so forth. But aesthetically wise, I was a size 10, 12. I was smaller. And so of course, I don't know. I feel like I had way more menses when I was larger than then I was ever skinny. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Because some women be like, it'd be different. I don't know, not for me. Not for me. I think mens was menses when I was heavier. The skinnier I have gotten and the size I am now, I don't know. It ain't the same. That's what I'm gonna say. When I was heavier, maybe I had more confidence then. Maybe I was maybe I had more personality then. I don't know what it was, but yeah, I never had any issues with the men's, and I still don't. But back then, it was definitely way more popping. Is what I say. But it was 20-year difference too. I feel like men have changed too, so that may be a thing as well. But that's a whole other topic for different days. I've been mostly in long-term relationships. I haven't been single often, so. But the times I have been single, it has been a difference. And to me, honey, it was way more popular when I was in my 20s than now. So that's what I say. And I was heavier then, so that's just weird, right? Like a whole lot heavier, like like a whole lot heavier, whole 10 sizes heavier than what I am now. Okay, so just think about that. So that's just weird, right? So, but I will say for me, I wouldn't do that part again because I just don't feel like it was worth it. It did teach me probably more portion control, but I got anemia. Now I don't know if I got anemia from me deciding to that second round with weight because I decided to go the surgery route, or because I just had not ate red meat. I had got anemia. Like I'm a person that I consider myself a philanthropist and I love giving back to the community. So I was one that always donated blood all the time just to make sure people had blood. And it became a time, how they test your blood and they were like, you can't get blood. And like by the third time, I was like, okay, I must have I've developed anemia now. I don't know if it's because it was the years of me not eating red meat or it was the surgery. And then all of a sudden I can't give blood anymore. So that sucked. And and it got to a point where of course I tried to liquor iron. We tried to iron and so forth. And finally my doctor was just like, you're gonna have to at least eat one piece of red meat a month, around the mother nature time, okay? And so that's what I do now, and it helps a lot. So, but yeah. So again, if I had to choose, I wouldn't do it. I'm just gonna be honest. I would have just, I would have probably figured out how to finally get back to the weight I am now eventually. So I wanted to encourage you guys because I feel like the journey of, especially a plus size, so I've been plus size the majority of my life, majority of my adult life, okay? I've never been a skinny girl, meaning I was never, except for when I was in elementary. That's when I was a skinny girl, I would say. Other than that, I've always been like, 12, 14, 10, 12, 14. Elementary, I was skinny. But I want to encourage you guys because I think, a lot of people don't share their journeys as much anymore. And it's so much out there in the ethos. I don't know who this will reach or who this may help, but I wanted to have that conversation. And once you figure out something, you stop talking about it because you don't really think about it anymore. But I was kind of going through stuff, and because I'm perimenopause now. We're gonna talk about that a little bit this second half of the video. Um, I've been like refocusing on my health again because of the peri symptoms more than anything and just getting older. And so that is like got me focused on health heavily. I think I may eventually probably be one of the people that may be a little bit health nut wise. As I continue to get older, I just feel it because I'm like in the farming now. I'm into like how do we get to like fresh fruit. Like it's like my whole interest in life is changing right now. Not to say I've ever really figured out a true interest yet. Like I just kind of been, I know I gotta pay bills, I know I gotta work. That's kind of been my thing right now. But I haven't had like that thing yet. There's been like, oh, okay. This is it. So I'm still trying to figure that out. And I think that's fine though. Some of us don't have that. This is it for me. Some of us is like supposed to be here and we supposed to be experimenting, trying different things, and like, okay, this is what we gonna do, etc. So my journey with perimenopause, let's get into that, has been interesting. Okay. So let's say about last year, almost this time, not this time, maybe probably October, November, honestly. Right now it's July, so no, it wasn't this early. I started having major hip issues. Okay. Now I've been a lot of sizes in life. I've of course dealt with certain different things like knee issues more because of accidents. And like I would do certain I'm an exercise person, so I used to do Zumba all the time. Like I used to do a lot of stuff that honestly just make my knees bad. I'm just gonna be real. And if you're Capricorn, you usually have knee issues. If you're into astrology, you already know this. So I'm also a Capricorn, so that's the other thing. That's one of my major placements. I actually have a stellium in it. So yeah, I have the knee problems, okay? Or can't have them. So I'm very particular about what I do with my knees. Like I just don't put myself in those situations because I already know that we're prone to having knee problems. I don't wear heels a lot, stuff like that, etc. But a doctor told me like a long time ago because I'm hippie and stuff like that. Like he was like, stay away from heels because if you don't, you're gonna end up with getting a hip surgery or a knee surgery, and you don't want that. Thank you, doctor, for that advice, by the way. So I know so many people going through that right now. But that was like one of the best advice. That was one of the good advice that I got from a doctor. So I started having hip pain. Didn't know why. Really nothing had changed. Wasn't like I had gained a bunch of weight or stuff like that. I did have an injury the year before from I was dancing because I like to have fun. I work hard, but I like to play hard too. And so I had hurt my, I'm gonna say like my ankle or something. And so I was nursing that back and going to rehab and so forth. So that wasn't making me as active as normal. So I did pick up a little weight. And so then when I started to come out of that, I was like, okay, I can now get back active. Well, then I realized I had hip problems. So me thinking it was like, okay, it's because I haven't really been able to do yoga. I haven't been to the gym like I usually am. This and that's what I'm thinking it was. But then I started to realize, oh, you're like closer to 50. You're starting to see a lot of stuff about perimenopause. God will send you stuff, information when it needs to be found out. And menopause. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I remember talking to somebody and they were just like, hey, you can start going through peri and menopause if you like had a child at a young age and you stopped, and that would be me. I only had one child, one pregnancy, one band, one sound. Okay, that's who I am. So I only had one. I was one and done. Okay, and so that was me, and I ended up realizing, oh, I'm probably perimenopause. I started looking up the symptoms, schedule my doctor's appointments. This is like I go like and get like regular checkup every 2 years. It's something I do. I like get all my blood work done. I like to get everything done. So this was just that time already. So I was just like, okay, what's going on? So I'm like, check my levels to make sure I'm not menopause or whatever. I know I'm not menopause, because Mother Nature, but I'm like, check and see if I'm in peri. And so they check it, and of course, I am. So one of the big symptoms is hip and joint issues. And a lot of people don't know this, I think. And so most people go to the extreme. I'm a non-medicate, non-surgery person if I can be. I don't like any type of medicine. Like my thumb got broke, I didn't even take the pain medicine. I literally was like, what's the natural stuff I can do to not deal with the pain? Whatever, it really didn't hurt me that much. I am very much more of a natural person over a medicine person. Like my thumb actually really got broken. I didn't even do nothing. And I had something going on with my ankle, and I'm take medicine. No, I don't care what it is. I ain't putting it in my body unless I just absolutely have to. So I'm a natural person. And so um that made me start researching, why I say that, supplements, and then that I may need to take, or I start just researching it. I did want to be a doctor when I was younger, so I'm also one of those people that like dig deeper, because I was gonna be a pediatrician. I was gonna help the kids. I was gonna have my 2.5 kids and my husband, and I was gonna have my pediatrician office. Okay, so I'm still like that was the only thing that I really liked that I wanted to do, but that didn't happen. But that would be my thing if I was gonna do something. It would be a doctor of some sort. So anyway, I ended up um I ended up finding a video talked about all the perimenopausal. I gotta get ready to go. Talk about all the perimenopausal symptoms, and so um and I end up looking, and the lady was talking about the hip issues, and a lot of people hadn't talked about this, or I hadn't seen it before then. So I've learned now on social media. I'm not a big social media person. I'll put stuff in my story, but other than that, I ain't really doing social media now. I just got burnt out from it. I just think that's what it is, to be honest. But I do read comments, like it's topics I'm interested in, and plus I like to understand what people are going through, just because I'm a builder, and I'm a builder of the masses. Like it's a lot of things I do just to like build things for people. So that's just who I am. And so I always like to know the dichotomy, or what people are needing, where their mindset is, stuff like that. That helps me then. So I'm reading the comments. So basically, I'm a comment reader. I'm that person. I'm the person that reads the comments. So I'm reading through the comments, etc. I see this one comment. The lady's like, I was having an excruciating hip pain. I know I said that word wrong. I destroy words. Don't talk about me. Excruciating hip pain. Horrible hip pain. Okay, I'm gonna say a word I can say. Horrible hip pain, and to the point where I couldn't move. And that's where I was. I'm gonna be honest. It was so bad. I was like, I've never felt anything like this in my life. And I'm like, what is going on with me? Like, for the most part, I'm a healthy individual. I hardly ever get sick. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Okay. So I end up reading, and she said her mom, or she was asked somebody, I don't know if it was her mom, her aunt, said, oh, you need to take magnesium, collagen, and fiber. Now, I might say that wrong. It might be magnesium, collagen, and omega-3, because I was not taking any of those, to be honest. And she was like, she started taking it, and a week later, her hip pain stopped. I kid you not, I added magnesium, collagen, omega-3. I think those are the three, honestly, I added. And a week later, my hip pain stopped. I was like, okay, so magnesium, if you are in peri and experiencing different things, my understanding, magnesium is a game changer. I don't know why we are having so many symptoms, because it is good that, I have my thoughts about the internet, but we'll talk about that. But in this instance, it's good because we're experiencing so many different things with Perry. I think in our lifetime or our generation in menopause, and we're able to share different things and ways that we've overcome it. And a lot of women are suffering or have been suffering, and we don't have to. We can figure out things without abrasive nature measures. So, like for me, I've added those supplements. I'm actually gonna add, like, I'm adding things to my diet now. So I'm adding more beans to my diet, because that's just a natural, like, hormonal thing to balance you out. I've already intermittent fast. I started intermittent fasting when I was 40, not because of weight, but because of energy. For some reason my energy dropped at 40. I got my blood work and everything done. Nothing's wrong with me. No one could tell me why my energy dropped. And I was like, something is literally wrong with me. I had went to the doctors, this, that, and other. I mean, I was going everywhere. Started doing B12 shots. Started the usual stuff to try to figure out what was going on. I hadn't changed my diet or exercise, so it wasn't like I started eating bad or something like that. And kind of find out, I started studying intermittent fasting at that time heavier, and reading the comments, and somebody was like, oh, it helped me with my energy level. Bang, that was it. I don't know if it's honestly at this point, I mean, most people are talking about it. The food has been changed and tampered with so drastically in America, it is impacting us internally. That's just what it is. And so I think intermittent fasting is a necessity in the Western world and in America at this point, because fasting allows your body to naturally heal. And so, or try to heal from whatever you're putting in it, because we got to eat to live. And so I think that's just part of what has occurred, to be honest, at this point. So I started IF because of energy. I didn't do it because of trying to lose weight or anything like that. It was literally because of the energy. Um, and then I still do that to this day. So it's been 6 years for me. I am like a 10 to like 6 eater for the most part, if I can. But sometimes I've traveled a lot, so it kind of depends on what's happening. But I'm definitely not eating before 10. I am working to now shift it a little bit, just because I want to work on some things and see if it helps me. Now I'm dealing with Perry, our friend Perry. And I'm hearing that if you start eating like at 12, that just gives your body a little bit more recovery time when you first wake up. So I'm thinking about doing that. And I'm not a heavy eater anyway. It's most days I probably eat one meal a day, or I forget to eat. But I'm really working on eating every day and getting my protein in like I'm supposed to and stuff like that, because I know that's counterproductive, right, to our system. So that's a little bit about my health journey. I wanted to come on talk about it. I've been trying to get this video out, so it's been crazy trying to get this video out. So that's my 22-year plus health journey. Me being a plus size woman, plus size girly for your young girls, plus size woman for the women my age. And hopefully that encourages you to know that you can do it on your own. For sure. I was very transparent. I talked about my journey when I did it on my own. I told you what I cut out. I talked about my journey of when I gained weight again. I decided to try the surgery route, and I told you why I would not do that again. Um, that was just my opinion, but I think if that's what you decide to do to get a kickstart, I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Just understand that you may get some implications from that, that you may not want. I talked about why health is more important than aesthetics. I think this is what I will tell women, because women who know me and have watched my journey and have seen me transform like multiple times will say I pretty much went through 4 transformations in the 22 years. Okay, let's just say that. And what I will say is that they have always asked me, what did I do? And I've always told them, especially because I'm like, especially when you are when you are first cutting out all the bad stuff, you're going to get the best results. So like if you are a person that you are drinking sodas every day, you're eating a lot of food, your portion sizes are bad and so forth, you're eating a lot. Okay, you may be emotionally eating, you may be eating at the wrong times. You should not eat before you go to sleep. Like if you usually go to bed at most people go to bed at midnight. I go to bed about 10 o'clock. You got to eat at least 3 to 4 hours before bed at a minimum. So if you for some reason end up eating late that day, like I would literally stay up longer if I some reason have a late meal because you add like you want to stay away from trying to eat and going right to sleep. You do not want to do it to your body. Your body is healing while sleep, so you know we'll talk more about that later. But I want to encourage you to focus on your health first. What I did was I focused on my health. I didn't focus on aesthetics. I may one day focus on aesthetics. I'm not an aesthetics like person. I am a person that's just like, as long as I'm happy with myself and I feel comfortable, I can do what I need to do. Meaning I travel a lot. So if I can run to a gate if I need to, if I need to be able to, walk up a flight of stairs, that's my thing. I love walking. I love activity. I love going to work out with my trainer. I am a weight person now. I'm more on pushing the heavy weights now, so I like to be able to get through my workouts with no problem. I don't like to have a big stomach, so it's things like that. So for me, like whatever those things are for you, figure out what that is for you and like really focus on those things. And I think that, focus on your internal health, make sure your blood work is good, those type of things, blood pressure, those things and so forth. And also, if you notice that things are changing, don't be so quick to take a med. Like really figure out where you can probably adjust your diet and stuff to fix it before you get on medication. I would also, warn about that. So really figure out what those things are. And it's always in your head. So you can always fix whatever you want to. It's really in your mind. Speak um positive over yourself, speak positive over your life. Really do those things, and I promise you, you'll get there. So I just wanted to encourage. This is for this is a conversation for anybody that's doing a health journey, but more for the plus size girls because I know living in a world where only certain sizes are said that they are healthy or beautiful can be very confusing and very disheartening at times when you know that you probably have a full good bill of health and you work out with the rest of them and, and people may look at you and be like, oh, she is so unhealthy, but not realizing like you kept 100 pounds off for over 20 years. Like seriously, that would be me. So and so that is like, things that you have to like really do. That's why I say it's always about really you and how you feel about yourself instead of the outside world. That's what I'll tell you. So I know that may be hard to ignore in the society we in, but I can tell you once that clicked with me, it was on. Once I realized it is me internally, what I do for me, and with anything, once that clicks, and sometimes I have that problem a little bit, but it doesn't last long because once it clicked the first time, that's what I apply to everything. And I tell you, I always end up getting to what I need to get to, because the outside part can really slow you down and have you not get there. So it can be very damaging to your life at times. So I just wanted to share that journey. I hadn't talked about it in a long time. And I was like, I need to talk about this because I'm going through a new health journey now with perimenopause and experiencing the things I'm experiencing and getting older. And so I was like, I need to share, and just talk about my whole journey because that can be encouraging to somebody. And, people may be deciding certain things and so forth. And I was, telling you guys like how I felt about certain things and how it impacted me and certain things I would not do again because it just wasn't worth it to me. So, I ended up still being the same way I was, losing the weight naturally. So at the end of the day, I'm pretty much there still. So it's kind of like, what was the purpose? But do what you need to do for you. I hope this helps somebody. Let me go because I'm running a little bit behind. But I hope this helps somebody, and I hope that this encourages somebody to get active, cut out the bad things, guys. You know what you're eating, you know what you need to do, and focus on health first. Don't focus on aesthetics. You can focus on aesthetics later. Focus on your health. Okay, that is going to make changes in your body and so forth. If you see those pictures, you can tell my skin is lighter. You can see my body shape has completely transformed and changed. Focus on your health. I literally focused on health first. I did not focus on aesthetics. I have not focused on aesthetics, to be honest, yet. I may one day, maybe when I get like over 60 or no, probably over 50. I may do that because I may have more time in my day. So maybe over 50 or maybe the next 2 years. You never know, because I don't know, life be, transforming and transitioning. So remember, self-knowledge is a superpower. I hope this helps you. Share this with somebody that's going on a health journey. That is, but this is for everybody, but definitely for my plus size women. It is a difference between an unhealthy plus size and a healthy plus size. And I want to talk to you about that because I think, focus on your health first. And if you go farther than that, good. But if you get healthy, your levels are good, your blood work is good, you can work out with the best of them. That's everything. I'm gonna be honest. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna be confident. You're going to be, in love with yourself and so forth. And focus on your mental health too, right? Journal. Do what you gotta do for your mental health. Ground. I didn't say a lot about that, and maybe I'll do a mental health section, but do all that. Hold on.